All right, we're here. Week number 10. Giving up, saying yes to things that don't support your goals. All right, so what I've kind of noticed is that all this stuff that we talk about, consistency, fixed mindsets, all this stuff, perfectionism, etc., can all be thrown away by a trait that we have within our personality. A trait that is really something that, when you look at it from like a psychological lens, is something that we do as a survival technique, right? And what this is known as is people pleasing. Okay, we go out, we hang out with we go see our mom. We go see our mother-in-law. We go out with our friends, and we get anxious, saying no, turning things down. And oftentimes in the past, we were okay with it because we didn't have goals. We were comfortable with it because we hadn't gotten to that point of experiencing the pain of what that's like. But now we do. And now when we say no, we feel guilty, we feel bad. And that's understandable, it's normal. But here's what we have to get comfortable with. And this is something that I see with so many clients who are doing so awesome, is they struggle with setting their boundaries and saying no. Now, setting boundaries is not a bad thing. Setting boundaries is a great thing, right? Because you get to do what you like to do. You feel good. You can lay your head to rest at night, say, damn, I did everything I wanted to do today, and I made progress to my goals, and I feel good about that. So successful people know that in order to accomplish their goals, they will have to say no to certain tasks, activities, and demands from their friends, families, and colleagues. Okay? In the short term, you might sacrifice a bit of instant gratification, but when your goals come to fruition, it will all be worth it. Okay? This is big because everybody wants to belong and fit in. But if the things that your friends or family or colleagues are doing do not coincide with what they want, with what you want to accomplish, you're not going to accomplish those things. Okay? A lot of those activities should be said no to. For example, if you want to go out and party all night and consume obnoxious amounts of food and drinks, you should plan accordingly. Okay? You can divulge in going out, but once you hit your allotted amount, you should say no. So a lot of this stuff that we're going to be talking about today really has to do with, what am I comfortable with? Am I okay with my goals taking a little bit longer? Am I okay with putting my goals aside and thinking about my why and saying, not today? If you're okay with that, you make your bed, right? You have to sleep with it. You have to sleep in it. Nothing wrong with it, right? But that's just the way it is, right? Saying no is a good thing. Setting boundaries is a great thing. But understanding that what we have to recognize, again, is when we look at our past, okay, when we think about what got me to this position, okay, worrying about the way other people feel, okay, has influenced the decisions that you made that have put you in the position that you're in today. And we just talked about, you're not in control of everything. You gotta let go of the way people feel. Now, that's easier said than done, right? Obviously. But as you continue and you reason with it, I'm not doing, right? Let's say, for example, we go over to our mother-in-law's house, and mother-in-law makes dinner, and you guys already had dinner, and she's like, come on, just eat a little bit, and you're like, no, thank you, I really appreciate it. In that situation, right, something that is important is for you to stick to your goals, right? And like I said, if you're somebody, you're like, I'm okay with it taking a little bit longer. I'm okay with thinking about my why and putting it off to the side for a little bit. If that's you, that's fine, right? Do it. But what we have to understand is that if we stick to our guns and we set these boundaries, they get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. The more we stick to them, right? As you're going throughout this, okay, you're gonna be faced with challenges where you should say no. But in those situations where you're like, you know what, that's okay for right now, and I'm okay to take a little bit longer. What you need to do is plan. Okay, plan ahead. Right? You got weddings coming up, you got birthday parties coming up, barbecues, all these events. Some days you're gonna want to eat your mother-in-law, your mother's, your kids, whatever it is, food that they make, birthday parties, right? The cake. So planning is extremely important in this situation. Planning ahead, okay? That's the solution to all this stuff. It's just planning ahead. And what am I okay with doing here? How much am I okay with? But where is my limit? What am I going to expect from myself to hold up so I do make progress? And what I also like to look forward to for my clients here, right, is always trying to find that growth opportunity. So let's say you generally would go to this party, and typically for birthday parties, like in my family, we'll order like pizza. And when I was a younger kid, I was getting bigger, I would eat like 4, 5, 6 slices of pizza, crazy amounts of pizza, right? So maybe that's something that you might experience too. It might not be pizza, but it might be like other foods, right? If instead of eating all that food, I go down to just eating 2 slices of pizza, that's growth, right? Like I'm okay with that, right? Because I know I make progress. And so that's the same thing with you, is when you're going about these events and you're going and you're showing up, right? I'm not saying no to anybody. I'm saying no and being disciplined within myself, right? I'm being disciplined and knowing that I'm making progress towards my goals because I made improvement in this area, right? So I'm not going to set an expectation to not eat anything. I'm going to set an expectation to control my behavior, my eating behavior, and how much I consume, right? So in this situation here, we find growth. We look for sustainability. It's not going to be sustainable for me to not eat or to say no in these situations. So here is where I can make growth. Here is where I can follow through with my expectations, okay? And that bit right there is going to be gratifying, okay? So, giving up that instant gratification, okay? Giving up that instant gratification is going to be huge, right? We live in a world where, we got, these phones, we got the coffee shops down the street, we got pastry stores down the street, we got, food in abundance, and instant gratification is very easy. And that puts us in a position where we don't necessarily have to value delayed gratification. So what we want to start doing is we want to start valuing delayed gratification. I'm looking towards this long-term goal. I'm making progress in the sense of this is what's going to help me get to this long-term goal. And as we work towards that, we're going to continue to make growth, right? As we find those opportunities, we're going to continue to make growth, okay? So giving up saying yes to everything that doesn't support your goals is going to be important, but also looking for opportunities to make growth and sustainable progress is also going to be very important. So be realistic with yourself, know what to expect from yourself, and understand that as long as you're okay with the decisions that you're making and you're not going to lay your bed to rest at night and say, dang, I really wish I would have did something differently, then that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. It's all good. So that's what I would say for everybody here. You know, get comfortable with saying yes. You know, everybody who's successful when it comes to their weight loss, they have to develop these habits, and saying no and facing those challenges and that obstacle is going to be important for you. And I think that you're all on the right path. So great job for showing up today. Great job for looking for those opportunities so far throughout your weeks. And your homework, okay, is to reflect on how much you've grown. Okay, again, number 10, reflect on how much you've grown. What behaviors have you improved in? That's what I say today. All right, so that's all you gotta do. Post in the group chat, and have a great day. Have a great week.